Calculating molarity. Molarity is defined as a unit of concentration used in chemistry to indicate how strong or weak a solution is. Molarity expresses solution concentration. The formula is molarity. The symbol is capital M, moles of solid over liters of solution. You can have N as moles of solid represented by N and liters of solution represented by volume. Okay. This is used a lot in chemistry lab. If we have molarity can be called molar, can be called capital mole, it can be mole per liter, or represent the same ratio. You can use any of those to represent molarity. Then, if you dissolve 1 mole of solid in 1 liter of solution, it will make 1 molar solution. Okay. And this means that 1 liter of solution requires that 1 mole of sodium chloride be dissolved. That's what it means. You have to understand this in a very, very practical way so that you can apply during lab. In the lab, if you are to prepare, you're asked to prepare 1 molar sodium chloride, you need to determine the grams of sodium chloride because you can't measure moles. You can't measure moles in a balance. So you must convert from moles of sodium chloride to grams of sodium chloride using 1 molecule equal to molar mass. And so in preparing that, you have to, the mass will be 58.44 grams, then in 1 liter of solution. Okay, so look at it in a very practical way, the way it's used in the lab and not in theoretical way. Because when we did theoretically, without thinking about how to do it in a practical way, learning it doesn't make sense because this must be used in the lab. That's why we are doing it. Let's look at these examples. Let's start with example 1. What is the molarity of a 0.30 liter solution containing 0.50 moles of sodium chloride? Very easy. All we have to do, it says clearly, we are calculating molarity, which is this big M, will be moles of solid over liters of solution. So the solid here is sodium chloride, 0.50 moles of sodium chloride all over 0.30 liters of solution. That's it. Sodium chloride solution it should be. So the molarity, if we calculate this out, will be 17 moles per liter. You can also call it 17 capital M. Okay. Then, example 2, a saline solution contains 0.90 grams of sodium chloride per 95.0 ml of solution. What is its molarity? Okay. So again, the same formula, but we have to convert, so we can repeat the same information here for clarity. Moles of solid over liters of solution. Okay, so we don't have moles of solid in this question, so we have to convert grams to moles. So you have to convert grams of sodium chloride to moles of sodium chloride. So moles of sodium chloride will be 0.90 grams over 1 grams. This is of sodium chloride, 1 mole of sodium chloride. This will be 58.44 grams. So that will be equal to 0.015 moles of sodium chloride, which is the solute. Now, we also will convert 95.0 ml to liters, because this has to be 2 liters, which will be equal to 0.095 liters. Now, the molarity calculation will be 0.015 moles of sodium chloride all over 0.0950 liters, which will be this much molar, or 0.16, that's molarity mole per liter. So these are examples on how to do this type of problem. Pause the video so you can do these practice questions. Pause the video so you can do these practice questions. Okay, hopefully you did this. Let's do EA. How many grams of solute are contained in 2.5 liters of 0.30 molar calcium chloride? Again, how many grams? Okay, we will start with this because we know the liter, we know the molarity. So there's molarity equal to moles of solute over liters of solution. But for us to get grams, we have to, for us to get grams, we have to find moles first. So if you struggle with math so much, you can do this, because many of you understand proportionality. Where you cross multiply, okay? So that will be 1 times moles of solute. That will give you the same thing. Cross multiply will be equal to moles of solute still, equal to molarity times liters of solution. Okay? You can also, so we know the molarity is 0.30. We can put it so that it's easier to see, times liters, which is 2.5 liters. Okay? Times that. That means like over 1. Though it's not indicated, but it can make it clearer for those who struggle with maths. So if you multiply that, you get 0.75 mole of calcium chloride. But we are not done. You are told to calculate the grams of solute, which is calcium chloride. Grams of solute. So we will go from 0.50 mole of calcium chloride to grams of calcium chloride. So to do that, so grams of calcium chloride will be 0.75 mole of calcium chloride over 1 times mole of calcium chloride, grams of calcium chloride on top. So we use 1 mole equal to molar mass. So do we know molar mass of calcium chloride is 110.98 over 1 mole. We cross this out, we cross it out, and this we end up to 83 grams of calcium chloride. That's a little long, but that's what we do in the lab. We can measure mole. So we must be thinking about this in a very, very practical way. So I hope you got it right. You do the last two. These are the answers. Again, the process is more important than the answer. I hope this helps. Thank you.